Greetings, my fellow South African brothers and sisters. I present to you part 2 of our election segment, your guide to making an informed decision on the South African's national and provincial election. Get ready for yet another exclusive insider's look into the heart of South Africans politics as we approach the election date. Join us as we dive deep into a candid engagement between the controversial political figure, Julius Malema, and the country's top media practitioners. Brace yourselves for unfiltered insights, tough questions, and bold answers in this must-watch.
Then you have a president of the country in trouble with the law, because Pala will not go away. He can do whatever he wants to do. Let me tell you, there was a case opened by that former DG of intelligence, Fraser. Okay, there's a case number. They now have to go and say we decline to prosecute so that we can prosecute him privately. There was a case number. All manner of evidence was presented by Fraser. Till today, that is not an issue. What is an issue? VBS. Malema must speak about VBS. Give me a case number against me on VBS. That is an issue. This is an issue we'll never let go. Where is the case number? Even in the absence of the case number, because of political hatred and political agenda, we must still go after them. Shivambo must account for VBS. Because of VBS, Shivambo's brain, economic brain, has shrunk. He can no longer be a good economic analyst. He can't make a good minister of finance. He went VBS. There are people who are in the dock now. There is a white man, former CEO of VBS, who was arrested and who confessed, now saving time in jail. People are being prosecuted on daily basis, especially in Limpopo. There's former CFO, CEOs and all of that. Not a single law enforcement officer has ever even sent an SMS to ask us about VBS, including those fraud hawks. You know, there are hawks, when they hear, hey, there is a case coming against you, then they start saying, no, I'm so and so from the hawks. There is this thing, we can close it, send this much. Not even a fake call was ever made to us about VBS. But VBS, because you cannot find anything politically, ideologically, to falter the EFF. That's why Moelet Mbeki speaks about the leadership of the EFF, likes nice things. That's why they want houses with swimming pools and all of that. And then you don't ask him if Fidel Castro was a revolutionary. If he says yes, you say, didn't Fidel Castro have a swimming pool? Didn't Fidel Castro have a Rolex watch? The president, former president of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez, a good dresser of note, a man of style. But if you compare Chavez with Malema, to Malema's haters, Chavez is a revolutionary, but there's nothing that I'm doing different from what Chavez did. Who said Chavez didn't have a pool? And Lenin. What is revolutionary about smoking cigar? Because Fidel Castro used to smoke cigar. But if you were to smoke cigar now, you're going to be taken a picture and be questioned, what is revolutionary about cigar? But Fidel has never been questioned. What is revolutionary about smoking cigar when you are a revolutionary? So those are the inconsistencies, those things of calling us flip-floppers. Musi Maimani said, we don't need political parties who must contest as independents. Musi Maimani today is contesting as a political party. You have never called him a flip-flop. This one who can't speak properly, Action essay, Mashab. And people said, I'm attacking people who was stuttering. Mashaba is not stuttering. No, it's not. Mashaba doesn't have a proper thought process. So he can't think and speak at the same time. That is a serious weakness in a person. He can't think and then in Parliament I was making a simple point. Or when you come with 1 seat or 2 or 3, it's 3 minutes. What is Mashaba going to say there with that kind of articulation? You are wasting your time. He will leave that Parliament without having said a word. Imagine that the speaker is the EFF in the coalitions. Mashaba, Honorable Mashaba. Then it starts being worse. By the time he utters first sentence, the time is over. Sit down. Pelamola unyagabundlus. That's what you need. Once you stand up, on a point of order, speaker, what's that? It's not point of order, points are made. It's done. Because we are fighting for time. So, Mashaba says the EFF, when he leaves the DA, the EFF is the only party that has never come to me and asked me for tenders. I've got a high respect for the EFF. Today he calls EFF all sorts of names. None of you call him a flip-flop. None of you call President Mandela a flip-flopper. After he said he's going to nationalize, immediately after President Dali was standing next to him there. And then later Mandela said privatization is not a policy of the ANC. Well, nationalization, we're going through privatization. It's not a flip-flop. President Mbeki, who said, how do I do door-to-door and explain to people to vote for a party which has got Nkabis in their branches? Today he says, I'm available, I'm going to campaign for my party. It's wrong for you not to campaign for the party. It's not being called a flip-flop. Why do you call the EFF flip-flopper? Is because you can't falter it politically and ideologically, and its commitments to fighting for the poor of the poorest. So we are here to say to you, we are available and we are a government in waiting, and there's nothing that really can come between us and the union building. The ANC is at its weakest state now. If we miss this opportunity, we're gone, we're out. This is an opportune moment for South Africans to make a serious historical turn, because 1994 we thought we were there, only to realize now that we are now in a more crisis than we were in 1994. So the coalitions is my last point. We are open to talk to everyone, and our demands are very simple, which have always been. They don't change. They can change here and there, and we are not far with many parties on what needs to happen. I mean, ATM, Mazapo, PAC, MK, including the ANC, by the way, on the land question. We are not far apart. We had actually had an agreement. Was it in this hotel? In this hotel, with the ANC, that we are going to expropriate land without compensation. And they developed a cold feet. That we are going to nationalize the Reserve Bank, that we are going to establish the state-owned bank. These two we followed up when we got into Parliament. We made proposals on the nationalization of the Reserve Bank, made a proposal on the establishment of state-owned bank, and the nationalization of mines. And one of the simplest demands we made was remove the stem from the national anthem. We can find another Afrikaans version if you want Afrikaans, but the stem is not an Afrikaans version. The stem, it's a political song which cemented white Afrikaner superiority. And they were singing this song when they were torturing our people. In Flag Plus, when they were having you encaged, they bribe meat there, they drink because they are drunkards. When they get drunk with the smell of their meat, they start singing this song. Today you are a survivor of Flag Plus. You must come and sing the song that is reminding you of the torture. Can you imagine if someone was to stand here and say, let's ask all the Jewish people to sing Hitler's songs? What's going to happen to you? You won't see the light of the day. But we are being made to sing the songs of our oppressors. We are made to pay Budali an apartheid debt, which its weapons were going to kill us. You must pay for the weapons which were meant for your killing. We're being asked that. We can't. We need the EFF to go to the International Court of Justice, ICJ, for real issues, not this pretentious ANC thing of wanting to pretend like they've got a problem with what's happening in Israel. We need to go to ICJ and say, declare this 382 billion apartheid debt as a debt which should not be paid because it was borrowed by a system which you declared a crime against humanity. Someone goes to buy a gun, borrows a gun to come and kill me. Then, ultimately, the killing flops. They say, no, but this guy's got a debt which he took from us to buy a gun to come and kill you, pay. Why has the ANC not said, but we can't allow this? We can't allow this. With the problems that we have in this country, where many of our people go to bed without food, we are servicing the debt which was meant to kill us. With a budget of 320 billion rands budget deficits. Can you imagine what we can do if that issue is scrapped? They say, no, you no longer pay this. How much we can reduce the international debt and service it at a reasonable rate, because the apartheid debt is taken out of that international debt. All of that has not been touched. It needs the EFF, because no one will ever do that. They're all compromised. No one will ever do that. We're losing a lot of money to illicit financial flows. We lose a lot of money to tax avoidance. They say tax avoidance is not illegal. It's allowed. And so we will pass legislation that will make it illegal, because the revenue of this country depends mainly on the taxes, because we've got a state which is not in business. All the state-owned enterprises are gone. So we're relying on the revenue. We cannot afford to lose a single cent from the taxes. So everything is not working, Budali, except SARS. SARS is working. And someone was trying to mobilize me when they extended the contract of the commissioner. That, yeah, do you see, this is illegal, whatever. But you see, I've got sympathy with this guy. Because I once spoke something political about him, that he's doing this. He wrote me a long letter and said to me, if someone dares to ask me what you said I did, I'll resign with immediate effect. Then I went to check him. I realized that SARS is no longer operating the way it was operating in the past, where it was weaponized against political opponents. They are working. The problem is that we don't have enough people who can afford to pay tax. When you go to SARS, if you want to see that SARS is working, miss your VAT payment today. Tomorrow, 1 past 12 midnight, a letter of interest comes in. No government institution does that. That says to you, hey Mpofu, your passport is about to expire. They've got your records there. come and renew. Your driver's license is about to expire, come and renew. If they can have that system to make us, you missed VAT, this is interest. If they can pick up that, why are they not picking up these other service delivery related matters? So this it can be done. It is possible. Why should we be sending electricity and water bills through some papers when we say the world has evolved? Every company today, you owe it, including SARS. Send you an SMS, or my guy, check your emails. The problems are too many. Then you open, you realize, yeah, man. Accept your government. Accept the government that can't use the latest technology to enhance and speed service delivery. Only the EFF with a young intelligentsia, the EFF that is not immune to criticism, but EFF that loves men and women who are suitable for the job. Not cadre deployment, which is directionless, but cadre deployment, we will implement it and will do it unashamedly. But the man and the woman must be suitable for the job, not because they can sing slogans of EFF. That is not a requirement. Or even the membership of the EFF will never be a requirement. We can still have Naledi Pandor under the EFF government as a minister of international relations, because she's good at what she's doing. She doesn't have to be an EFF member. It's her loyalty to the flag. It's her loyalty to the constitution. Is she a South African citizen? Her political affiliation is irrelevant. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, President. Colleagues, now we opening the floor to you so that you can engage the President. Tato, can you please come to the front to help me? We've got mics here in the front and you can give colleagues. Dr. Sizwe would be the first one to, let's just take three, because one would be Tando from Business Day. So it's Dr. Sizwe, Jamie, because can we? Oh, we'll go to Jamie then, because there's no one else. So it's Dr. Sizwe, it's Tando, and then it's Jamie.
Thanks very much. Just a disclaimer, I didn't know that Advocate Mbofu was going to be here, and he didn't know I was going to be here either. Mr. Malema, thank you. President Cyril Ramaphosa emerged victorious at the most recent ANC elective conference just weeks after reports emerged that he was considering resignation. What's your assessment of the current balance of forces within the ANC? Do you think his position has strengthened or weakened since that conference? And do you think he will be president of South Africa after the election?
Tando?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Tando Mayeko from the Business Day. Just on various things that the CIC said and also on the manifesto. First of all, the EFF proposes a wide range of overhauls, particularly with regards to South Africa's tax system. One is to introduce a wealth tax. I want to know what percentage are you looking at. Second of all, the EFF also proposes increasing corporate tax from 28% to 32% with a 25% dividend tax. Don't you think that this is kind of defeats the purpose? Because most tax-heavy companies, such as mining and Sasol and let's say ArcelorMittal, will probably move their business elsewhere. And then just on coalitions as well, you mentioned how you are not closed to the ANC, but you also mentioned how in this very hotel you discussed things such as land and nationalization of Saab, and also, what did you say? State-owned bank. You guys agreed on that, but then they went to Parliament and did a U-turn. Are you not perhaps concerned that should you go with a coalition with the ANC, then the ANC would do a U-turn on any other agreements? And then this year is EFF elective conference year. I understand probably in December. You have mentioned that you are open to a third term. Let's say May 29, EFF is in a coalition with other parties, and then you get EFF members in cabinet positions or as MECs. Do you think that this now EFF in power within the state will perhaps change the nature of contestation with EFF, which has perhaps been run smoothly since 2014, because EFF members now know that, okay, if I get a position with the party, then there's likelihood that I'll be a minister or an MEC. Thank you.
Morning, Jamie Mighty from the Africa Research Desk. My question is around debates. Are you open to debating Mr. Ramaphosa? Do you see value in that? And do you think that the media should do more to cultivate an atmosphere where the political leaders can debate before the election? Thank you.
President.
Thank you very much for those questions. The resignation by President Ramaphosa is there. The president resigned when the panel released the results. When it said there are serious issues that President Ramaphosa must answer on Phala Phala. And when those panel outcomes came, the president resigned out of his own conscience, only to be persuaded by a political cabal that he must stay because his living means they are going. So where there was central, Pravin was central, and then Onwar will squash this thing. Then the first thing they did was to use their majority in parliament to squash the truth under Nosfer Mabisa Ngakul. From that high chair of a speaker into the dock. Very interesting. Defender of Phala Phala. Had she held that guy accountable, maybe we'll be sympathetic. We have no little sympathy with a person who protected corruption of Ramaphosa in parliament. Not only that, the day I once asked Floyd, I said, I think we must resign from this thing and just go and build an organization. That's the day they rejected an investigation on ESCOM corruption. No one said there's corruption. We said, but there are serious allegations, worse from the former CEO and all of that. Let's go and check what's happening. You check what? This anti-corruption government of Ramaphosa defending not anything outside what is being done. An ad hoc committee that looks into the corruption of ESCOM, which is what members of parliament do from time to time, said no. So what is going to rescue? I was listening to the recording of the NEC meeting of the ANC. What is going to rescue Ramaphosa is if he maintains the percentage or it goes up. Anything less than that is going to be asked by his own faction, or we need to try someone else because it's not working. The ANC strategy was outlined in that recording. I don't know why you don't have it. I must give you. No, I will only give you. They must get it from you. The ANC strategy is we have to get the same number or increase. And for us to get the same number, we need 11 million votes. If at a 70% turnout, 11 million vote will put us at 57%. But anything above that, at least there will be an increase. If you get less than 11 million votes, that's a problem. Why is it a problem? They know. It then starts internal debate on, is this guy really being helpful or not? It's the same as the EFF, by the way. If EFF declines its support now, my name is going to be on the table, or no matter, maybe let's try someone, man, because we tried many times and it's not working. It works like that in political organizations. Once you decline support, then the discussion starts around your head. That's why you see me working like a headless chicken, because I don't want to be part of any topic. Everybody must just say, when you say Julius, Wednesday in Manju, what are you saying? Well, we deliberately are not putting percentages or amounts on wealth tax and corporate tax and dividend tax, because it's a serious debate that we need to introduce, and the laws that we must look into if we're not going to have other sources of revenue. Because the way the corporate tax is being paid now, I mean, the amount of money we get just from mining alone can run the education of KwaZulu-Natal. Corporate tax of mining sector alone can't pay for the education of the children of KwaZulu-Natal. But we are one of the richest countries when it comes to minerals. But those minerals don't benefit us with anything. I was saying the other day that, you know, I don't know what these guys took from Oppenheimer. Maybe Budali one day will tell us, because he was there. Where they allow DBS to go and share 50% with the Botswana government. And just across the board, they can't do it. And then when we say do that, they respond the way you were saying, my sister, of a business day. We will leave to other countries because these laws are dangerous for our business. We're not asking for anything they have not done. They are doing it in Botswana. Give us 50%, hold the 50%. You know what is the difference between what we are demanding and what is in Botswana? We're demanding ownership and control. So Botswana only owns, doesn't control. So they get told how many currents came out of your mines this year. They don't know. So we want to know ourselves directly by being hands-on, so that we share a reality and not some speculation or what the bosses decide needs to be the way forward. The EFF is in power in Ekurhuleni. The EFF is in power in Joburg. The EFF is in power in Mogale City, in Nelson Mandela Bay. We used to be in power in KwaZulu-Natal, in eThekwini. Actually, we are even in a more powerful position in Nongoma as deputy mayor. I've not seen anything like that. Of people saying, well, now, I mean, Dunga has got blue lights. I don't have blue lights. No one has got blue lights. The whole provincial chairperson comes to a meeting with blue lights and bodyguards. So what? Nothing. The only thing we love is the EFF. That's why in Parliament you can join today. Muzwane Lemanyi, we take you to Parliament. All we want is the organization. Once we safeguard the organization, its independence without any possible infiltration and diversion from its strategic objective, we're done. You can take anyone to Parliament. If they do what is not EFF, we recall them tomorrow. But here in the EFF, there is no one who can join today and lead in December. For a branch is how many years? It's in the constitution. It's a year, 6 months. The region, 2 years. Province, region. Yeah. So you don't join the EFF and ask the following day, where are the pastors sitting? No. Yeah. Why do you do that? We must safeguard the organization. If there is an organization, there will always be state power. In the absence of the organization, there will never be a state power.
Thank you for joining us in these crucial discussions. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to spread awareness about the upcoming South African election. Hit the notification bell so you won't miss out on part 3 and the rest of this insightful segment. Your engagement is vital as we navigate through these important matters together. I thank you and take care.